Hello, Bookworms. Welcome to the Weekend Readers Book Club. Thank you for joining us. In this episode, we are going back to an author that has now will feature 3 times on the Weekend Readers Book Club. We have read and are discussing Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, Daisy Jones and the Six, as I said, is the 3rd Taylor Jenkins Reid's book. First one, Malibu Rising, absolutely loved. Second book was After I Do, a bit hit and miss, but it was okay. So we're gonna see if I enjoyed Daisy Jones and the Six. The book itself is about a musician, Daisy Jones, and a musician group, the Six. They each have their individual careers. They come together, take over the world, and then, for some reason, one night on their tour, they just go, that's it, we're done. So this is a story about the rise and fall of Daisy Jones and the band The Six. I told my mate that I finished reading the book. Shout out to Mike. Mike informed me that this book was somewhat based on the story of Fleetwood Mac. And I was like, what? I didn't even realize that. But in essence, fictitious story based on reality turned into a TV series. It blew up. I know I'm late to the party in relation to this, but the book itself, let's get into it. So I've read Daisy Jones and the Six, and here are my thoughts, okay? So the book itself, it's literally a dialogue of an interview. Questions asked, member answers, question asked, members answers, question asked, members answers. And it covers, while it predominantly covers Daisy Jones and Billy Dunn, who is the lead singer of the Six, it does also feature all the band members of the Six as well, and it starts somewhat chronologically how they got to the position where they were in relation to forming the band, the formation of the band, from Daisy Jones's story, Daisy Jones's, rise to stardom per se, joining the band coming together, and then what happened when they decided to separate. The story itself is all interview style, so it's actually A, pretty easy to read, B, pretty easy to follow, and C, each chapter is somewhat chronologically a year gap, so it will tell you what year it is, and then you sort of just follow on their journey on what they did. And then you pick up the following year, where it started the following year to where they ended up. So it was really intriguing with that. Character-wise, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the interaction between the interviewee and all the band members. I enjoyed the little twist at the end, which I won't state what it is in case you haven't read it. But I was blown away when we came to the little twist at the end, and I was like, that's pretty ingenious to do. And that sort of made me chuckle and put a smile on my face, because it somewhat tied the story completely together. Overall, I enjoyed the book. It was a great read. It kept me interested, and it just flowed. So it was easy to put down, pick back up, carry on from where I left off. Was I completely blown away with it? No. However, in addition to the little twist at the end, I did chuckle hard when McReeva turned up, because I was like, hey, I know that name. It's the dad from Malibu Rising. So that was pretty badass. He's only in it a short period, and he's portrayed as the goddamn rock star, you know what I mean? So I got a good chuckle out of that. But, I mean, overall, I enjoyed the read. Now, the question will be, will Daisy Jones and the Six be going onto my bookshelf? somewhat immortalized as a book that I would maybe one day come back to because it gave me great joy in reading. No. For whatever reason, Malibu Rising is up there in relation to Taylor Jenkins Reid's books that I've enjoyed. I would say Daisy Jones and the Six is a lot better than After I Do, but it is still it didn't blow me away. So, unfortunately, Daisy Jones and the Six, you didn't make my bookshelf. Now, as it customs here on the Weekend Readers Book Club, as one book closes, another book has to open, and it is now time to find out what the next read for the Weekend Readers Book Club is. And Bookworms, I can tell you, we're going to a classic. We can confirm that the next read for the Weekend Readers Book Club is 1984 by George Orwell. Now, this book's been on my radar for probably about a year. There's two books that I'm going to do back to back, 1984 and the next book. The reason I wanted to read it is because politically, the left and the right compared the US to 1984 or The Handmaid's Tale. So I wanted to get my hand on both little books and actually just read them because I never have, to see what exactly each story is about and how one side can compare. That's how the other side wants their politics to be ran. So, with that being said, 1984, George Orwell, you are the next read for the Weekend Readers Book Club. So, Bookworms, that was my discussion and review of Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. A book I enjoyed. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. It didn't blow me away, but I enjoyed it. It was a nice read, easy to follow, easy just to pick up and put down, come back to it, and it just flowed. Very great, but it didn't make my bookshelf. But yeah, I would say if you haven't read it, give it a whirl. I don't know if it's different from the TV series. I've never seen a TV series, so I don't know what the difference is between what the book said and what they did in the TV series. But in saying that, Daisy Jones and the Six was an enjoyable read. So Bookworms, thank you again for joining us. And as always, until next time, happy reading.